Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and viewers from all over the nation. Welcome to Rise and Shine Show, your best number one talk show. It's your girl Marsya and the host for today's Rise and Shine Show. Since it's National Batik Day, we're going to talk a lot about batik. So, Indonesia is a nation known for its cultural diversity and rich traditions. Annually celebrates National Batik Day on October the 2nd, which is today. We celebrate a testament to the country's deep-rooted connection with the art of batik. As we have mentioned before, every 2nd October, Indonesia would come alive with colorful batik patterns as the nation celebrates National Batik Day. The special day was officially declared in 2009, coinciding with UNESCO's recognition of batik culture's significance. As Indonesia celebrates another National Batik Day, the art of batik remains a vital part of the nation's cultural identity. It continues to evolve with contemporary designers incorporating batik patterns into modern fashions, bridging the gap between tradition and innovations. This annual celebration serves as a reminder of the importance of preserving culture's heritage in an ever-changing world. Batik, with its rich history and intricate beauty, stands as evidence of Indonesian vibrant past and promises to be a source of inspiration for future generations, and also help to improve the welfare of Indonesian craftsmen. Alright folks, since today's episode is all about batik, I invited an expert regarding this matter, a special guest who joining us today from Jakarta, Indonesia, to help us know and understand more about batik. She's a student from Gunadarma University majoring in English literature who dedicates her time to actually preserving the art of batik. So please allow me to welcome Mrs. Mutia. Mrs. Mutia, please introduce yourself to our viewers and could you please tell us more about batik and its significance, as we know you're an expert on this matter, because we're excited to hear more from you, especially on a day like this.
Thank you, Marsya, and hello everyone. Today I'm going to share with you about batik since today is the National Batik Day. So let me introduce myself first. My name is Mutia. I am from Gunadarma University majoring in English literature. And let's just start with it. What is batik? Basically, batik is an Indonesian technique of wax resist dyeing applied to whole cloth. This technique originates from Java, Indonesia, and is made by drawing those lines or patterns that you just want to do. Batik uses two tools. The first one, canting. Inside the canting, there is a hot wax to draw patterns on the fabric. This technique is also called batik tulis. The second one is painting glazes with a stem called a cap, and we call it a cap batik. As you guys know, there are so many types of batik in Indonesia. These are the most famous one. Each batik has their own story, characteristic, and identity. On the left side, you can see batik lasem. Batik lasem is the famous for their contrast and black colors, while batik parang is famous for their history because the only one who can wear this batik is only from the royal typical. The lower Scottish people can use this bracket because this pattern shows what is their position in their country. The last one is batik Megamendung, which is from Cirebon. They are famous for their cloth batik pattern. Did you guys know there's another batik called Belanda or Dutch batik? And here is it. Indonesia was once colonized by Netherlands, and during that time, there was an acculturation. Batik Juanda originated from the preference of Indo-Europe to be batik. Even though this idea came from the Netherlands woman, the process still imposed this thought of the Indonesian artistic form. The color, the material is from the Indonesia.
Alright, Mutia, before we move on the next discussion, we'll talk briefly about the previous discussion. So, this cultural heritage of ours is indeed very interesting, right?
Yeah, I agree with you, Marsya. Indonesian batik is special because each motif is not only visually beautiful, but also full of philosophical meaning. Each region in Indonesia has a motif that reflects its culture, history, and local values.
Yes, and also I just found out that we have Dutch batik.
Yep, that's right. Even as far as I remember, when I was in school, I was only introduced to batik typical of regions in Indonesia, and there was no discussion about the origins of Dutch batik.
Yeah, it's the same. I also never learned about Dutch batik in school, but fortunately now we know about Dutch batik. Thanks to the show. Okay, Mutia, now you can continue.
Okay, so this is batik Belanda or Dutch batik. Many of the patterns are taken from the locals that are popular in Europe, such as Little Riding Hood. There's also Snow White and Hansel and Eureka. Red colors are used to portray the character in their fairy tale. On the right side, as you can see, there's a ship. The motif of this Dutch ship is inspired by history when the Dutch came to the Indonesian for the first time. Not only the Dutch batik or batik Belanda, but there is also batik Eliza van Zuylen. This is one of the famous work by acculturating various cultural elements such as Arabic, Chinese, and also Indonesia. The mode piece that pillar developed by Eliza van Zuylen is a flower bouquet. Eliza van Zuylen used synthetic colors so that the result colors is more diverse than the other batik. And my experience with batik is the first time I decided to chanting. It's not really good, but yeah, we use pretty much cotton as their object as the fabric. It was really hard because of the help of the hot wax is always moving into another side of the fending, and I thought that I should appreciate the body package more because of how hard it is. It took about 1 until 2 hours just to drop better. And it's really hard to control the wax to not always get out from the chanting, and unlucky, when it's already staged to color the background you spend on its arm, and you don't have to change to color this graphic. That's why I just have only 3 fabric with dry wax on it. Next, for your information, batik in the fashion world, many designers from Indonesia has already used, but for their material, mostly batik parang. There are 5 models in here. Most of them are used batik parang for their product. This one, the event named Batik Fashion Week at 2016 that held in Jakarta. I hope in the near future there will be an innovation designer with batik Belanda or other acculturation method to be the purpose material in session products that and show it into the fashion way. And as you guys see on the left side, there is the Queen of Netherlands. And then it's been referenced, she wore batik a lot at her some events. I'm sure this is proof that if there is a designer of Indonesia, these cultures and batik, it will reach the international market easier and higher, and even can introduce our culture more wider than before. Okay, we have already reached our last discussion. I hope you guys understand enough about the other side of batik. Well, thank you for listening, and I'm sorry if I made any mistakes. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you so much for joining and educating us on the history and also the different types of batik so that we can educate ourselves and also our folks at home to learn more about our nation pride. It's really interesting how she learned that in her college as well, right? Alright folks, with that being said, we're going to take another break, but right after we'll have more updates, some Indonesian features just for you. So stay with us on Rise and Shine Show.